If you need to have personal conversations, please step outside. Also, if you have cell phones, please put them on silent during today's meeting. Please call roll.
Present.
Here.
Here. With the quorum present, I call to order this meeting of the Elbert County Board of County Commissioners, convening this day, this 6th day of July 2016 at 9:05 a.m. Pastor Brian James. Here. Okay. Mr. Dorman, would you lead us in the pledge?
Mr. Chair, I have a couple of changes I'd like to make to the agenda before we do a motion to accept it. On item D on consent agenda, I would like to move that to become under new business item E, and that is the signature of contract and notice to proceed. Just because of the amount of money, we would just like to have a public conversation about it so that that our citizens and their constituents understand what this item is. And then also for item E, under new business, temporary 30-day contract with Rich Clausen for plan review. We were just made aware of this and we have not had enough time to discuss this, so we'd like to move this to our staff agenda meeting on Monday and then possibly look at it for the July 20th meeting. And then I also have our, under the work study session, following the BOCC meeting, we need to poll this one, and this will actually proceed after the July 20th meeting as well.
Yes. Oh, did you have a revision from last night's planning commission meeting?
Yeah, just some periods and some, there are probably 5 changes that don't materially change the RFP. If you'd like me to go over them, I can.
I second that motion. All in favor of the changes to the agenda, signify by saying aye.
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 I would move
Mr.
we have a brief discussion from this matter with regard to the master plan RFP.
Almost during the comment from the elected officials, it might be more appropriate to
Let's do that.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it during presentation.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to motion that we accept the agenda as presented.
Second?
As amended, sorry.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
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 Are there any awards and recognition today? Perhaps, we
You did your thing.
okay, let's do that.
Mr. Chair, I motion that we accept the consent agenda as amended.
A second.
All in favor, aye.
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 Motion passed. No awards and recognition today. Elected officials, department heads, and staff reports.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kyle Fenner, Director of CDS. I appreciate your acceptance of the RFP. That was gone over thoroughly by the Planning Commission at the June 21st meeting, the one we held in Simla. And they are an editorial force to be reckoned with. So we went over that extensively. Last night, what they did was review the changes that they had made in the 21st meeting and found some periods, some remnant words that were a part of the editing. The only two changes that were made, when I wrote this RFP, it was a very generic document. You kind of start off with a generic and wait for it to be tailored. If you look on page 5 in the last two sections, there is one where it says the county will announce its short list. At that point, we changed that to the planning commission will announce its short list. And then the next section down, it says, shall be reviewed by a local panel. That local panel has also been changed to read the planning commission. So the RFP will be posted. The planning commission will review the candidates. They will present their short list to the short list person will be selected, and then that contract will then, of course, be presented to you for your execution and your approval.
Okay.
So the RFP that we approved on the 22nd has been edited, made some minor changes.
It's some minor changes. You actually approved it today. You didn't approve it on the 22nd.
Oh, okay. So, so the one we approved today is the one with those edits?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
And I have an actual hard copy that shows those red lines for you. I brought it with me today. I didn't know if you were going to ask for it to be off the consent. It's on the consent, so I have that. I'm happy to provide that to you just so you have it in your pockets.
So we don't have to go back and revisit it?
No, sir.
That's all.
Well, I thought it was worth discussing. This is an important feature that doesn't come up very often.
Not since
We're doing the master
1986.
plan for the county, and it helps to set the vision and goals of the county by the county citizens and the planning commission. And it should be a fairly exhaustive process. It will involve a great deal of public outreach. It's very, very important to select a good consultant to work hand in glove with the planning commission and the CDS department. So I just wanted to thank you for a very thorough RFP and wish you luck on.
Well, thank you for your support along the way.
Was that part of our packet today? I know since we did it, we looked at it.
You did have it. You just simply didn't have the changes that were made in last night's planning commission meeting.
Okay. Just for the sake of, no controversy, could you get us give me at least a copy of that?
Yeah, I just said that I physically got it with me.
Are the changes highlighted?
They are. I actually left them redlined and printed it in color.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's all I have for you. I do have one question for the county manager with respect to the John Deere lease. Is there a guaranteed buyback on the machine, or is that just straight up, you turn it in 5 years?
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question?
On the John Deere loader,
Yes,
is there a guaranteed buyback in this deal?
yes, there is.
I didn't see it in the lease agreement.
It's a separate agreement.
Okay, but there is a buyback.
Mhm.
Do you have to know the amount that is worth at the end of the lease?
I don't have that agreement. I just have to-
I'll circle back with you later on that one. Do you believe it's realistic? What's the principal use of the machine, or is it a utility type?
It's a utility type machine that will be utilized for roadway maintenance, ditch work, loading and unloading of trucks, recycled asphalt, snow removal. It comes with a multi-purpose head-on, so we can change out front-end attachments, pellet forks, trucking, different things like that.
So it will accommodate our milling machine?
It does.
Do you think there's going to be any problem keeping it within the 5,000 hours in
No.
5 years?
No.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
That's different than what we talked about on the 22nd. That was an in-loader, right?
It's a front-end loader.
This is the same one we talked about last meeting.
I don't remember what we talked about last week.
I think that was an in-loader. This is a lift loader. Okay.
Any other elected officials, department head, staff reports? Brings us to the public comment portion of the program. Before I read this large disclaimer, are there going to be any public comments? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Public comment is a time when any citizen may bring forth items of interest or concern During this time, each individual will have 3 minutes to present views on county matters. In the interest of time, please have your comments prepared for presentation, as each person will be allowed one opportunity to approach the podium. Please keep your comments to a 3-minute maximum. No formal action will be taken on these items during this time due to open meeting provisions. However, the items may be placed on a future posted agenda if action is required. If you have comments on a regular agenda item, please hold your comments until that item is up for consideration. Public comment portion of the BOCC meeting is not to be used for political or campaign purposes. Comments and questions should be limited to matters of current county affairs and business. When you approach the podium, please identify yourself and spell your last name and give your address. Ms. Ware? Mrs. Ware?
Christine Ware, 2681 Oak Creek Drive, Elizabeth, Colorado. Where's W-A-R-E? I just have a comment. I've been going to the Planning Commission meetings, and yesterday when they reviewed the document, part of the document was on the template that was designed or created by a lawyer. I don't know if it was this lawyer or a lawyer from the past. But in review, we've got such a smart group of people on the Planning Commission that really read the information, and there are several areas that need to be fixed as far as grammar, punctuation. They were not allowed to touch the template. I just think it's, as we go into the future, that we try to be more professional. I don't know who reviews the lawyers' writing. I know, talking to Rick Morgan, he's terrible, and he will admit it. So it's just that I think somebody should just clean it up, not change the intent, but just let's get into to being more professional.
And this has to do with the RFP.
Yeah.
It was on the RFP template, and I'm sure there's other templates that are out there that we use for RFPs that probably haven't been reviewed.
It's my understanding that the boilerplate portion of that RFP was provided by DOLA. Is that true? Sure.
Good morning again. What Chris is talking about, and this is where, is talking about is pages 6.5 through 11. That's boilerplate, and I harvested it from a previous document. It really is county boilerplate language. What I think happens with that language is that departments and or users tweak it a little bit, not legally. I didn't touch it, but it does universally use terms like bidder, consultant, and contractor somewhat interchangeably. What might be useful is something on a shared drive that has that language reviewed with the use of contractor, with the use of bidder, so everybody can harvest it directly. We do have one particular planning commissioner who is a grammar Nazi. She's wonderful. Well, I just disclosed who she was. She's the only girl on the, she'll admit it. She's wonderful. And it does, you know, it's not horrible. The intent is all there. The coverage is all there. But it could certainly be worked. What I think is that it needs to be probably done in 1 or 2 or 3 versions. So when we're talking about a bidder, that's more likely language you would use in road and bridge versus a consultant, which may be terms that you would use in our department. So going forward, that may be something, and I'm sure that planning commissioner would offer to just check for punctuation and things like that. So,
But the intent is clear.
Correct.
Clear to any bidder.
Yes.
Seeking to propose on this project.
Yes, at this point. So,
Does that cover it? I think so.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, Ross, Roland, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak. And I just also want to say thank you for your service. Tremendous responsibility, not always appreciated. I really thank you for the time and effort you put into it. I'll read my statement.
Okay, you can state your name.
Yes. My name is Elbert. It's Litwak. And I live at 3637 County Road 106 in a home we had built in 1974. More precisely, we live at the north end of Judge Adams Road. which takes us north from County Road 106. We are basically a residential community surrounded by other existing and proposed residential communities. There are a few head of cattle, a few horses on some of the properties, but basically we are a residential community. This has largely been the case since our development was created when the old Adams Ranch was subdivided in 1972. Lone Star Ranch, currently a working cattle ranch, borders our community on the east. I'm here today with a simple but urgent request. Namely, I'm asking the Board of County Commissioners to review, revise, and restrict the use of the special land use provisions in the county zoning regulations. The reason is this. The special provisions designed to bend the rules in limited circumstances are subject to misuse and abuse. Instead of bending the rules, they seem to be seen as a loophole through which the most outlandish uses can be proposed. I'll give you my perspective based on personal experience. It is a perspective shared by most of my neighbors in this community and even in neighboring communities. In 2002, a special use application was submitted by the owner of a 40-acre parcel in this residential development to establish a sanctuary for housing lions and tigers on her property. The proposal was, on the face of it, simply bizarre, preposterous, by no stretch of the imagination or by no stretch of the meaning of the English language words could a sanctuary for lions and tigers be considered as specified in the zoning regulation, compatible and in harmony with this area and neighborhood. This was an outright abuse of the process and it should have been rejected outright. Nevertheless, the then planning director recommended approval. There followed a 4-year process. Yes, 4 years of hearings, re-hearings. Often, opponents of the proposal arrived at a meeting only to be told that a continuance had been granted and the matter would not be discussed at that meeting. While the applicant always seemed to know what came next, opponents remained in the dark. Ultimately, the commissioners ruled unanimously in 2006 what was always at the beginning, that this was not the proper place for the proposed use. Consider the time wasted by the community and by the county. Clearly, the process was unfair to opponents of the proposed use, called to defend the neighborhood from an inappropriate and unwelcome intruder. I'm here today to appeal to the commissioners that citizens never again be required to experience treatment like this. I wish that the commissioners would begin this reform process by simply saying that the English language is clear. Applicants wanting approval for use that is, on the face of it, not compatible, not in harmony with the neighbors, are wanting to waste everyone's time. Elbert County is not the place for them. My plea is timely because we learned recently that the same property owner now intends to submit a similar application, similar but worse. What she is now proposing to do is to move the operating sanctuary that is in the eastern current area of the Agate onto the site in the residential neighborhood that was deemed inappropriate 10 years ago. Instead of having lions and tigers, we're now asked to take bears and wolves as well. I appeal to the commissioners, going again with this neighborhood through this unfair process, with all the upheaval that it threatens. Time to say no is now. I wish you could have your consideration. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. And due to the fact that this apparently is an active SUR application, we can't comment on it. But I think it's duly noted by our planning director. Any other public comment? Seeing none, we have a proclamation with regards to National Health Center Week. Are you folks here for that? Would you like to approach and speak to that issue? Please introduce yourself.
Good morning and thank you. My name is David Plump, P-U-M-P. My address is in El Paso. I apologize. I am here today around the National Health Center proclamation. The National Health Center movement, which Peak Vista is part of, we have a proclamation on National Week where we talk about the value of health centers in our communities. I do have some information about our value here within Elbert County, which we're very thankful for. Currently, we serve over 1,200 residents of Elbert County here, which is 5.2% of the population that we're able to do right here in Kiowa. And we're always accepting new patients, something very important to share. And majority of our patients, 34% of our patients are between the ages of 20 and 44 years old. However, we do take care of 25% of our patients are children under the ages of 21. Our economic impact in the region, not specific to Elbert, but in the region, is just a smidge over $100 million that we're able to leverage into our populations. And so we're very thankful for this opportunity to come before you today.
Well, thank you. There's a proclamation associated with this. Does that kind of capture the essence of the proclamation?
It does.
Okay, then we'll just read the therefore part.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Excuse me, sir, while you're still at the mic, thank you. Just real briefly, tell us how you apply these services here in our county. What are the locations? How does it work? On the ground, so to speak.
Absolutely. So we are a private nonprofit healthcare organization, and we are located at 320 Comanche right over here. And Vista became part of this community through a merger with Plains Medical Center a couple of years ago. And so we offer our healthcare services here for anybody who needs those healthcare services. Our physician or our nurse practitioner is here 4 days a week, 40 hours, Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. We also have dental and behavioral health through Centennial Mental Health Services. So we're open here in our community, part of the community, and open for anybody who needs that care.
Is there a website?
We peakvista.org.
Peak?
Vista, VISTA.org. And it would be under the location of Kiowa. Yeah, and if anybody wants a tour at any time, I'm more than happy to do so.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Commissioner Dorr?
And I just want to say, of the several of the boards that I sit on, 9 of them are mental and behavioral health, and whether or not it's local or for the state, or having the collaboration around, and it's been fantastic to sit and work with all the people within the community and realize the assets that we do have here, and also the what we have to offer here. A lot of people don't recognize that, and recognizing that behavioral and mental health is such an important component of a community, and having healthy communities to begin with not only makes it a lot easier for all of the other systems working within the county, but also on the taxpayer as well. Because when you have a healthy community, you are being proactive instead of reactive to a lot of the things. So thank you for the work that you guys do. I definitely understand what it takes to do that and to serve a community, and especially in a rural community that is partially rural, partially urban. It's a lot of different challenges and a lot of different things that you have to meet, but also the connection getting out into the community. We don't have the widespread media, we don't have and we've got our smaller papers that they don't necessarily reach every citizen within this county. So the challenges that you guys face, but also knowing that you guys are out there and the collaboration that you have with other organizations within the county is very much appreciated. So I guess I won't read the entire proclamation since you gave a very good summary of it, but I will say, that I will, now therefore today on, the 6th of July, 2016, I do hereby proclaim August 7th through 13th, 2016 as National Health Center Week. I encourage every Coloradan to visit their local health center and celebrate the important partnership between America's health centers and the communities that they serve. So thank you again for what you do.
Yes.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Rowland, second the motion. All in favor, aye.
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 Aye. Motion passed. That's all your mic.
Do we have your contact information? We'll probably take you up on that tour. Do you have a card or something where you can leave with that? I think, yeah, we're pretty.
And they are literally just across the street on, it's the white building that, so it used to be the, Mountain Man, building, so that's where they are.
Okay, moving on to item B, resolution of grant exemption from subdivision. I guess that it is intended to say resolution of grant exemption from subdivision to Mary Slade. Is that correct? Thank you. Well, that one.
Commissioners, I'd like to offer Resolution 16- to be determined, a resolution to grant exemption from subdivision to Mary Slade for 5-acre parcel, state parcel number 8325300116, also known as 14018 State Highway 86, Kiowa, Colorado.
Second, discussion?
This is just a formality. You all already approved this at the last BOCC meeting. This and the next one, so. that was-
Okay, yeah, we've had discussion on it before.
And for Mary's benefit, again, I think we've talked, and she's been to some of the meetings, this is kind of a progression of steps towards hopeful resolution to the issue that you all have on your end. So this is one more step forward.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next one is a resolution approving the special use review, SU-16-0002 for Bridger Wireless Cellular Tower.
Commissioners, I'd like to ask that the Board of County Commissioners approve Resolution 16- to be determined, SU-16-002 Bridger Wireless Cellular Tower, a resolution approving a request for a special use review for a cellular communication facility located in a portion of the east half of the southeast quarter of Section 35, Township 10 South, Range 60, west of the 6th PM in Elbert County.
I'll second the motion. Resolution.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Once again, we've discussed this at a previous meeting, and this is merely a formality to resolve the issue. All in favor? Aye.
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 Motion passes. Item D, resolution authorizing county manager Ed to execute and sign flood repair documents.
Again, I'd like to offer Resolution 16- to be determined, a resolution authorizing the county manager, Ed Eman, to execute and sign flood repair documents with KB Construction Incorporation on behalf of Elbert County.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion?
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. Ed Eman, County Manager. This resolution has been prepared in efforts to expedite the construction process from the FEMA projects that we had from last year. We have until January to complete those projects. We had two areas that qualified for what they call large projects. In order to receive funding, we had to go through our standard procurement process to stay qualified. This is just a resolution authorizing the county manager to proceed with that project and a contract with that project that exceeds my authority. So that's why it's in front of you today.
Okay, my question is, I believe, rather critical. This is in response to the flood we had, was it 2013? 14? A lot of damage was done. Brandon Leonard of our OEM department sort of spearheaded the effort to proceed with applying for FEMA grant relief for a lot of the expense and repairs. Being that it's a federal grant, it involves very particular procurement policies and procedures. What process was followed in coming to the KB construction award?
Our standard procurement process was followed, which is what we were required to do to stay in compliance with the FEMA regulations.
So it was publicly noticed that it was out to bid?
Yes, it was publicly noticed, put out the bid, bids were received, open and read aloud in the email.
Okay. And it's your opinion that KB was the best for the job?
That's correct.
Okay. So, already motion from this? Yes, we did. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. All right. We had removed the original item E for further discussion and staffing on Monday. And the new item E would be formally on the consent agenda now. Signature of contract and notice to proceed between Elbert County and Double R Excavating in the amount of $2,632,608 for the construction of County Road 9-15. May I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to motion that we review and accept the signature of contract and notice to proceed between Elbert County and Double R Excavating Incorporation in the amount of $2,632,608 for the construction of County Road 9-15.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. I had asked for and have received the plans and specs for this project. Mr. Amon, would you please come up and refresh our memory on what exactly this project is, where it is, how long it is, and the challenges that cause it to be a little higher than what we usually see for paving projects.
Again, Eddie, County Manager. This project includes about 3.3 miles of reconstruction of the chip seal that runs south of the town of Elizabeth from the town boundaries to the edge of the existing chip seal. It is an increased cost. Part of that is due to the cost increase of the goods that we're receiving. In addition to this, the soils report indicated that we had some extensive soils that needed to be removed. So that has caused an additional increase in cost as well. It's about 2,300 cubic yards that needs to be over-axed and removed from the project and then material brought back in. It also changed our subgrade treatment process. We typically, what you've seen in the past has been a 12-inch subgrade treatment, or an 8-inch even. We've had some sections that were 8-inch. This one calls for 16-inch subgrade treatment with 4% cement in certain sections, and then in other sections we have a 10% lime treatment because of the soil types in those areas. And so we're trying to control the heat and the expansion of those locations. So we have a very detailed soils report that tells us where we need to go and how we need to do this. We know this up front, and that equates to about $500,000 difference overall in the project. In addition, we budgeted about $200,000. We're about $200,000 over our budget estimate for this project. So it's within line. It was the lowest bid, the lowest qualifying bid for the project, and we would suggest you move forward. We previously approved this, and we have issued notice of award.
Can you help us all understand, first of all, what's the thickness of the asphalt width that's going to be put onto this substrate?
This will be a 4-inch asphalt thickness, and basically the asphalt performs as a wear layer. So all of your structural integrity, or the majority of your structural integrity, is in the subgrade treatment. So as we go in and we define the subgrade and we create positive drainage away from the road bed itself, we go in and prep that subgrade. And some of the over excavation areas will be as deep as 4 feet deep to remove contaminated soil, clays that swell when they get wet and so forth. And then we'll import material back into the project and do a subgrade treatment. It's called a composite section, so we'll have approximately 16 inches of the native subgrade treated with either lime or cement treatment, and then we will place the wear surface, which is the asphalt, over the top of it.
One of my biggest concerns here, among others, is the traffic control and safety of this. It's got a lot of sharp turns and so forth in it. Are we going to be completing one side and the other, or a segment at a time? How are we going to make sure that people don't have head-on collisions and so forth?
It'll be very similar to what you've seen in the past for Kiowa Bennett Road. We've had other roads that are higher traffic volumes than this road. But just as an indicator, that was something that was discussed in detail with the prospective bidders, and our traffic control line item in this project is $250,000 to manage the traffic control throughout the construction project.
And there is a construction management component and design component to this project.
There is.
Okay, thank you very much. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any land use? Okay, turn to the board. We're I'm not sure if you stated it at the outset, but for everybody's information, the work study session has been canceled. It's being moved to, this topic's being moved to the 20th. After that meeting, we're going to go into executive session at this time. We're going to, yes, sir?
I'd like to answer your question concerning the loader.
Oh,
When you're ready.
yeah, go ahead.
The loader is on a 5-year, 5,000-hour buyback, and the approximate buyback number is $90,000. So we'll have $91,000 equity in the machine on the day we turn it back 5 years from now.
Okay, thanks a lot. As I said, we're going to be moving into executive session, and since we're going to conference in an outside of train, our only phone lines over here in the next room, so we're going to break and then move over there and then reconvene after the executive session back in here. That makes sense to everybody, unless we can perhaps.
Our agenda shows us adjourning, then going into executive session. Just to be clear, we have to go into executive session during our public meeting. So that adjournment really is out of order. It's executive session. We're going to recess, go into executive session, come back out and do it.
Chair moves to recess to enter into executive session with the following motion read by Commissioner Miller.
Mr. Chair, I hereby move that the Elbert County Board of County Commissioners go into executive session with our outside counsel for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions or issues pursuant to Section 24-6-402(4B of the Colorado Revised Statutes. Specifically, I move that the Board of County Commissioners go into executive session to discuss the BOCC and outside counsel regarding personnel-related issues and treatment of open records requests by Trevor Smith and Mountain State's employers investigation.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Nay.